Ni hao, Stefan Lema. Welcome to this presentation on doing business in China. One of the Grand Tour minors, which we of course offer as NHL Stenden, and we do so twice per academic year in the second and fourth module periods. So during today's presentation, I will be providing you with some insights into the minor, some highlights as to what you can expect, some information on the structure, the content of the minor, accommodation and living environment, and of course some practicalities as well as costs you need to take into account. My name is Peter de Boer and I'm the coordinator, academic coordinator of this minor, and I hope to take you on this journey to China. So let's start off by taking a look at the highlights of this minor. Well, we can safely say this is a unique minor for adventurous students, ones that like to take, let's say, the road less traveled. It's unique in the sense that you will be traveling to China with a small number of fellow students, 24 maximum, and you will really experience what it's like to live and study with the local Chinese on a Chinese university campus. In addition to that, as a result of the reasons I just mentioned, you'll get fully immersed in the Chinese culture by, for instance, taking classes in the Mandarin language, but also providing you plenty of opportunities to practice the language on campus and off campus with taxi drivers and shops, and as you travel through China in your free time. You'll interact with Chinese lecturers, providing you with valuable input for the various course units that you're taking, and you'll work together with Chinese students on various course assignments. Very important as well, of course, is the non-academic life, the life as a student on the Chinese campus. And you will experience what it's like to live in a dormitory, which is a unique experience in itself, experiencing the food culture, but also participating in sports and all the other activities that are offered on the campus in Dongguan. There's also a very close link with industry. You'll have to write a business plan for a fictional idea that you'd like to launch on the Chinese market, but you'll be provided with input in various ways. Of course, in the classroom, but also through various field trips to companies that are owned by foreigners, Dutchies, internationals that made the step to China and started their own businesses there, but also will be looking at some really Chinese businesses operated in a Chinese manner. And these will provide an interesting experience for you to see what the differences are and to what extent there are also similarities. So you'll have first-hand experience what China and Chinese business is all about, because we hear and read about it all the time, whether it's Huawei or TikTok, many of these companies also being quite controversial in the Western world, but what are they really like? And what are Chinese companies really run? How are they really run? You'll see this firsthand during your stay in China. And a very important aspect that makes this minor unique is you'll be in the heart of China and the economic heart of China, the Pearl River Delta. It used to be called the world's factory, and manufacturing is still very important in this area, whether it is Nike shoes or apparel or any other kind of technological device, smartphones for instance, but they have more and more so taken the step also towards innovation, technology, artificial intelligence. And you'll experience this when you are in Dongguan, but also in the surrounding cities of Guangzhou and Shenzhen. And here on the map, you can also see where Dongguan is located on the south eastern side of China, close to Hong Kong, Macau as well. A final highlight, which of course is also worth mentioning, is that the minor includes a 4-day business trip to Shanghai, which is included in the price, and Shanghai being the business hub of China, and increasingly an important financial powerhouse, if you like, on the global stage. You get to experience both through cultural visits and business visits what Shanghai is really like. A bustling city that never sleeps, with loads of activity going on for you to experience and explore. Now more towards the content of the minor. And of course, I mentioned this a little bit already in the previous section. but it's important for you to know that the minor is structured along 3 units. The first being the business plan, which provides you with a reality check, really understanding how Chinese business works and what makes Chinese customers tick. What are consumer trends and developments? What do they find important? And of course, your Chinese fellow students will help you in this process to really understand what would meet a need in the Chinese market. And of course, they'll be your research partners as you conduct your field research. Secondly, there's the language and cultural block, where you get more familiar with the Mandarin language, and you will be provided with survival skills, which will be incredibly important in Dongguan because the English proficiency level there is not very high, and you would need to be resourceful and adventurous to try and to speak some Mandarin words or sentences to get your way. And finally, it's very important when going and participating in a minor like this to take them a step back and reflect on what's happening to you, to reflect on your experience for your professional career, both personally and professionally. What are the key insights that you gain? Rather than just going through the motions, really taking the step back and saying, what is the added value of this? What does this teach me about myself, but also about the environment I'm currently in? So that you can use this as a valuable experience for your future career. A world in which China will undoubtedly play an important role. Now, zooming in on each of these units, the business plan, as I already mentioned, will allow you to develop a product or service specifically for the Chinese market. And for this, it's important that you learn about the latest trends and developments in the market. And you get some expert input from the Chinese guest lecturers from our partner Dongguan University of Technology, and of course during your company visits, where we will visit companies small and big, and you can interview the company representatives on their perspectives on the Chinese market and provide you with feedback on your ideas. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a unique opportunity to work interculturally and collaborate with Chinese students to get a clear insight into the Chinese market and what is happening there. The Mandarin language and culture provides you with essential survival skills. It will allow you to get more out of the experience while you're there. These will be interactive classes. You won't be just memorizing words, but you'll have hands-on assignments. Also allowing you to videotape yourself while you're ordering food at the market, or you're doing all kinds of other practical assignments in and outside of the classroom. So you'll experience Chinese culture, Chinese business culture through this program, also in terms of the food, the arts, and for instance, also martial arts, to also develop an appreciation and a deeper understanding of the culture. And finally, as I already mentioned, the intercultural component is incredibly important. While you're there, to not judge too quickly, but to allow your time to let it all sink in and determine what it really means, but also to create value for your future professional career, in which you may have to interact with China, Chinese customers, Chinese businesses in any shape or form. Now to what is it like to really live on campus, as you will do in Dongguan at DGUT? Well, to give you a little bit of an idea, you see here a picture of our own classroom, or the environment our own classroom is in at the International College of DGUT. However, you will get, of course, a much clearer impression if we show you a video. And our partners at DGUT have prepared a nice introductory video for you, which we'd now like to share with you.
走进东莞理工学院课堂，高水平师资团队在旁，为人才培养护航，这实力徜徉。感知世界，感知未来，探索科技前沿方向，脚踏实地去丈量，嘿抬头仰望。55个专业让你水一条，线上线下有着课程真不少，多样化的人才培养模式，激发自身的潜力，充满创新的寓意。现代产业学院传系产教融合，海量执行课程，见习知行合一，国际合作常态化，相当 international， 不过境外交流学习在广工具 possible。 抽出东莞理工学院课堂，在广阔天地闯荡，学而知不足，我们铭记心上。
Summer day， 做好了着你的准备，只有谁当陪 ？It's a summer day， 嘿，今天晚上风很温柔，你的脸也很红。
Welcome to
It's a
DG.
summer
Welcome to
day，嘿，你
DG.
笑着说很想开心，
Welcome to
我
DG.
会因你冷。It's a summer day， 嘿，能不能靠近我一步呢？一步就够了。
Now about the accommodation. What will it be like? Well, the dormitory is simple and basic. However, it has everything you need. So you will live like all the other Chinese students on campus, 2 students in 1 room, but you'll have your own bathroom facilities. It is important to note that dorm rules apply, meaning that at a certain hour in the evening, the lights will go down and you are expected to sleep. However, you are a guest and you're allowed to, of course, go out as long as you live by and you adhere to the local rules and you do so in a respectful manner. There are short walks to the classroom. The food street is right outside of your dorm room, and the sports facilities are also within walking distance. So with your accommodation, you are in the center of a bustling environment, student environment, but you're also close to the facilities that Dongguan provides, being close to the dynamic city center, if you like, because there are shopping malls, many restaurants, metro, bus, taxi services close by, and there are plenty of food options. You shouldn't be afraid to try some typically Chinese dishes, of course, but there are plenty of international food options available. So there's something for everyone really there. Here you see a few other impressions of the student life and student environment, whether that is karaoke, kung fu classes, or the sharing economy, because your smartphone will be indispensable in China. But to give you a closer look at what it's like to study and live in Dongguan, one of our former students, Elena, will take you on a brief tour.
Hey guys, my name is Elena, and I will be taking you with me on my grand tour. Already going first? Cheese!
Morning. I am on the way to have some breakfast with the Chinese students, and after that we have an official opening of the first day of the school year. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna show you all around. this app. It's called DB, and Zora made it work. So that's thumbs up for him. And we're gonna check out Walmart. Oh my god! You have 2 more? Thank you, thank you. No, I'm joking.
Now, the cost and practicalities concerned are, of course, always important to consider. What should you take into account? Well, first, of course, the financial aspect. Well, I can safely say that it's very good value for money. It's one of the most affordable Grand Tour miners that we provide, and it includes many different things: accommodation for 10 weeks, airport pickup, and the business trip to Shanghai that I already introduced to you earlier. Now, for an update on the latest fees, please check out the intranet page section of Grand Tour, where you can find the latest information regarding to the fee concerned. Now, what else is important to know is that we offer the miner twice a year. Since we are a business-oriented miner, when we go on many visits to companies, it's important to dress smart. So it's important that you bring a suit. However, during module period 2, in the second half of the miner, the weather starts to become quite cold. So it's important that you bring appropriate clothing, not just shorts and t-shirts, but also some warmer scarves and sweaters to stay warm. During module period 4, the weather will be much warmer in the 30-35 degree range. And a practical matter for those of you media-savvy people is that, of course, in China, a lot of the social media applications are not available. So you need to be mindful of this. Having a WeChat account, the Chinese version of WhatsApp, is very important, for instance. So be mindful of some of these restrictions and be prepared for these before going. So if you have any practical questions about this miner offered in modules 2 and 4, please do request further information. That can happen during the study abroad fairs, but also by sending an email to the email address you can see on the screen. Well, we look forward to seeing you soon in China, in Dongguan. Thank you very much, Xie xie, and we hope to see you soon.